Hi, good evening, everyone. This is the session 4. In session 3, we have covered marketing cloud features. There are different additional features provided by Salesforce in the marketing cloud. That is the first thing is marketing application. It is to automate marketing process. Email Studio to send bulk emails at a time to all the customers. Mobile Studio to do voice calls and automated calls at a time to the customers. SMS Studio to send bulk SMS to the customers at a time. Social Studio to promote products in social media. And it is a journey builder. Sixth feature is it is to sync data between marketing application and sales application. These are the features of marketing cloud. And there are few additional features in service cloud along with service application. In that is the service application. It is to automate service process of the organizations. Everything, it includes SLA, service level agreement. It is the knowledge base where we get their problems and solutions are available. Customers can search for their problems and they can get solutions. In the community, it is the platform where customers can interact with each other. They can post their problems. Other customers will answer to the question or problem posted by them. Interact with each other. And get solutions. And live agent is the 24/7 chat support. From chat support, customers can get solutions to their problems. Computer telephony integration is the integration mechanism. It is the integration mechanism between telephone system and Salesforce application. So these things were covered in the yesterday's session, that was in the session 3. Now in the session 4, we cover App Exchange, Einstein Analytics, Application Cloud, Data.com, or it is retired and now new feature is Lightning Data, and collaboration and charter tools. Salesforce recently took over Slack. So we will discuss these 5 topics in today's session. If anybody did not attend the previous 3 sessions, don't worry. We will upload videos in YouTube. From that, you can get knowledge from that. You can go through those sessions and you can get complete knowledge. Our sessions will go very slow. And whoever not able to understand, you can ask the questions. Even if you have questions after the session as well, we will be available every time, all the time to you. Our backend team and me are available over in phone. You can send WhatsApp or email to us. We will reply as soon as possible. So this is the App Exchange feature. So what is App Exchange? Now in our mobiles, we have Play Store. And if it is Android, it is Play Store. If it is iOS, it is App Store. From this Play Store and App Store, we download applications. We download applications through this Play Store or App Store. What kind of applications we download? We download different kinds of applications. It might be banking application, or it might be WhatsApp. It might be Facebook, any application. This is the Play Store and App Store is a cloud space. These two are cloud spaces. In the cloud space, applications are stored. From that cloud space, we are downloading those applications and we are using those for our daily purpose. In the same way, Salesforce is providing App Exchange facility. App Exchange also a App Exchange is a cloud space. Space. It is a cloud space provided by Salesforce. From this, if you want to develop any application in Salesforce, or few organizations develop applications in Salesforce. If any organization, banking organization is using Salesforce, they develop applications, their banking application, and they keep that application in App Exchange. From App Exchange, we can download the application. Anybody can download the application, and they can, whoever download that application, they can use that application from their devices. So, organization, who can develop applications? Any organizations or individuals. Now we are learning Salesforce. We can develop our own application. We can design and develop any supermarket application or any gaming application, and we can make that application available in the App Exchange. So that application can be downloaded by others. They can use that application. There are many applications available in App Exchange, like finance applications. There are some ERP applications, sales applications. So many applications are available in the App Exchange. We can see this App Exchange in the application. We see how to create this account later. Here in the top right corner, App Exchange is available. We create this in other sessions, next 2 sessions mostly. After creating the account, you will understand. This is the App Exchange. Here you can see different categories of applications are available in Salesforce App Exchange. It is like App Store or Play Store. App Exchange is a cloud space. It is similar to App Store or Play Store. From here, you can see finance applications are available, human resources are available, and ERP application, sales, customer service, IT admin, marketing, integration. These are the applications developed by different organizations. So, how many solutions are available in this App Exchange? You can go and see down. Almost these many applications are installed. 10 million plus solutions are installed here. These are 10 million plus solutions are installed. Some programmers or developers, they learn Salesforce and they design some application, they install in this. Now, if you want to see applications, any category you take finance category. In the finance category, 271 applications are available. These are all the applications available. PayPal. It is payment application, third-party tool. All these are financial applications, billing applications, or a expense tracker, invoices. So many things are there. Many organizations or people install those applications in App Exchange. We can download these applications and we can use these applications. See here, you can click all apps. Now we are into finance applications. If you want to see what are the all applications available in App Exchange, you click here. See here, it is showing 4,122 apps are available. Now, why it is showing only 4,122 applications? Here, we saw in the home, there are 10 million plus applications are installed. Here 10 million applications are installed, but we can see only 4022 applications, 4122 applications. Why? Because we can install and test by ourselves, but Salesforce won't approve all the applications. It has to pass through some tests. That's why even there are 10 million apps are installed by our different organizations and developers, only Salesforce made available 4122 applications. There are 10 million plus applications are installed. We can see different category of applications. Like finance, HR, IT, admin, ERP, like this. There are many applications available. If you see 4122 applications are available to download and use. These applications are, if you want to make that application downloadable, it has to be need to get approval to make available to other users to download and use. All applications are not available. It should be approved by Salesforce. They have those applications has to pass some tests, and then only those are available for download. Now all apps are, we can see. How you can see here, there are some free applications. These are free applications. Here, this is a paid application. Some applications are free and some are paid. Two kinds of applications are available. We can see here, some are free and some are paid. Free and paid applications are available in App Exchange. Now I want to search for a application in the App Exchange. If you know the application name, enter the application name in search bar. Here search bar is there, na? I want to search for some DocuSign. I know DocuSign application. I want to use that application. DocuSign is, it is to sign electronically. Nowadays, everybody is working from home. They don't say, ask us to do sign directly. It is a paid application. I want to see how this application works. Now click on that application. Click on that application. I want to see about this application. There two things are available. One is overview. Second thing is review. Now I want to know about this application. After that, it is a paid application. I want to see reviews as well. If reviews are good, then only I want to install it. Otherwise, I don't want to pay money and install it. This is the overview of the application, and these are the reviews of the application. To get the application, search for application from the search bar. After that, you can see two options: overview of the application to see basic details about the application. Second thing is review. Reviews from the customer. Already people used this application, they give reviews. By seeing that reviews, we can decide. See here, average rating is there, 4.6 is the highest rating. Some people has given 5 rating. Some people have given 1 rating. So that based on the average rating, we can decide to use this application or not. Many people has given 67% has given 5-star rating, 27% given 4-star. By saying, looking at this application, if you want to buy any product from the Amazon as well, we see the result. We see the reviews of the product. Based on the reviews, we can decide this product works better or not. Now I want to see how this application is working. So see here, you can click on watch demo. By clicking on watch demo, just click on this. You can see.
DocuSign eSignature for Salesforce combines the world's #1 eSignature product with the world's #1 CRM. With DocuSign eSignature for Salesforce, you can do business faster by removing the traditional bottleneck of chasing down wet signatures. You can reduce errors by unifying your Salesforce records with your contracts. And you can delight customers with a modern, on-demand signing experience. You can use DocuSign eSignature across multiple Salesforce clouds.
Like this, you can see the demo of the application. And there you can check price as well. Watch the demo and features of the application. Some demo option, you can do that. If you want to see the price of the application, you can see the price of the application. If you like the demo, if you like the features of the product, if you like the reviews, then we can see the price of the product. If it is free of cost, you can directly install it without paying money. So here you can click get it now. You can see the price. It is starting with $30 per user per month. So if you want to buy the product, you can just install it. You can click on get it now, give your Salesforce credentials, pay money and install it. This is the App Exchange. In the App Exchange, there are many applications are available. You can see the price. price of the application. If it is free, you can see two options, free and paid. If it is free, applications can be installed directly. When you install that application, that will show here in the AppExchange. Here in this list, it will show. If you buy that application, if you install any free application, it will show in this list. You can click that and you can use those features. Paid applications need to pay amount and install. Once the application is installed, that can be seen in App Launcher. That is called App Launcher. We will understand that App Launcher feature later. I will explain everything there. This is called App Launcher. Here we can see, along with these features, we can see that application as well if you install that application. So in summary, if anybody asks, explain AppExchange. Some organizations want people, those who have experience in developing applications, then they will ask you this question: what is AppExchange? Can you explain AppExchange? We can say AppExchange is a cloud space provided by Salesforce. Applications in different domains like banking, finance, entertainment, games, etc. are developed by various organizations or individual developers using Salesforce. After developing those applications, they place those applications in AppExchange. It is a cloud space. Some applications are free and some applications are paid. Free applications can be directly installed without paying money. Paid applications need to pay money and install those. When you want to install that application, you can see overview, reviews, demo, price information of the application. If the application suits your business requirements, you can install it in your org and use it. Salesforce admins and developers are different organizations, have different ideas to develop applications. They can build those applications, make those applications available in AppExchange. Like after completing this admin course or developer course, you can build your own application as per your idea. You might have different ideas, or somebody might ask you to do small project on this. We will do project on different things. That time you will develop one app and you will keep that app. You will install that app in AppExchange. Here you are developing the application, and that application can be made available to others. That's why you are exchanging your own application with others. That's why we call this as AppExchange. Developers can make the applications paid and generate some revenue. You can develop your own application and you can make it paid. If people like your application, you will get some revenue, you will get some money. It is the one of the business area for Salesforce. They make available applications here, good applications. They get revenue. Salesforce get revenue, and the people or organization who ever develop the applications, they also get money. For example, some organizations might need some supermarket application. You might have developed a supermarket application and you install that application in AppExchange. If any supermarket person, any supermarket owner wants to develop his own application, no need to develop that application from scratch. You have already developed that application. That application is available in App Launcher. So he can download that application and he can use it. If you make it paid application, he has to pay money. In that, some amount comes to you and some amount goes to Salesforce. This is the way they do business. This is all about AppExchange. And another feature here is Einstein analytics. It is a feature. It is AI feature. AI means artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means you might get automatic replies. For example, now if you get any problem with any product, if it is a small problem, it can be resolved through customer care. If it is not small, it cannot be solved by customer care people. If that issue is big or it cannot be handled by customer care, they allocate that cases to different teams. For example, customer care get lot of calls. If it is a small technical issue with minimum guidance, if it can be solved, it will be solved by customer care. It is a very small technical issue, then it can be solved by customer care. If the issue is big, if it needs solution from other teams, like they can, customer care cannot solve that problem. That problem is related to, it might be related to production, it might be related to some development, or it might be related to some enhancement or maintenance. In this case, customer care cannot solve this problem. They cannot handle that problem. That time they allocate, they assign those cases to different teams, because they understand the problem and they think this problem is related to production. So that time they allocate that case to production team. If it requires maintenance, they allocate that case to maintenance team. If it requires more development part, if they require, if that case require, then that they assign that case to development team. So here what happens, customer care people get repeated problems. Same problem may repeat. Repeat from different customers. Now I have the problem with power button. This power button problem in laptop, many people will get. That problem might be require exchange of power button. Here customer care people can't solve this problem, because one technical person has to come. He have to bring that power button to home, and he has to replace that power button with a new button. Old button has to be replaced with a new button. This problem might come to many people. So whenever customer care get this kind of issues, this kind of cases, automatically this problem, this case can be automatically assigned to technical team, service team, technical team or service team. That's from that service team, automatically assign the person. Assign the person. Who is that person? Technical person. because there are 10 technical persons are available. From customer care, when the customers raise problem with power button, automatically this case will be assigned to a technical person. Immediately we get message, so and so person, some XYZ person has been allocated with your case number. He will come to your home and do service. He will replace your power button. This is the phone number. This task can be automatically done by using artificial intelligence, because it is a repeated problem. Repeated tasks can be automatically handled by application. This is the Einstein platform. By using Einstein analytics, by using Einstein platform or analytics used to automatically assign the repeated tasks to different teams or persons. Automatically it will be done. It is a repeated problem. Artificial intelligence identify that problem and it will say, okay, this is the problem. This problem needs to be allocated to this team, or this need to be allocated to this person. It will be automatically done. This Einstein analytics was previously wave analytics. It used to call wave analytics in Salesforce. They have changed wave analytics to Einstein analytics. What exactly the Einstein platform? As a part of Einstein platform, Salesforce has given a feature called Salesforce Einstein Analytics. They have enhanced with lot of additional features to wave analytics. Wave analytics has been modified. They modified wave analytics. They added so many features. They added so many features. They added artificial intelligence features and so many things has been added. Then they changed it as Einstein Analytics. Repeated tasks can be done automated, by using Einstein platform. Application can respond to cases automatically without any person intervention, without customer care. Salesforce application itself, if you select the problem, I have the power button problem, automatically it will reply to the customers. It will assign to technical people. So what we can do with Einstein Analytics, it can be not only this thing, assigning, replying, automate replies to cases by Salesforce application. This is the one of the benefit from the Einstein Analytics. And other benefit is it can be connected to external database. Salesforce application can be connected with external databases. Sometimes we need to connect with other databases, like Salesforce have their own database. Like that, SQL Server database some other organization might be using, or Oracle database, Oracle DB. By using, say, Einstein Analytics, we can connect to external databases. We can connect to external databases like SQL Server and Oracle DB, and we can generate reports. Generate dynamic reports in the dashboard. Yesterday we have discussed about reports and dashboards. That reports and dashboards If data is available in Salesforce application, we can generate reports. Even if data is not available in our Salesforce application, if it is available in some other database in the external system, by using Einstein Analytics, we can connect to the databases and we can generate reports. So these are the two uses of Einstein Analytics. One thing is automatic replies to cases, to repeated cases by Salesforce application. And second thing is generate dynamic reports by connecting to external databases. Like SQL Server, or you can connect to Oracle database. Any other, even you can connect to SAP system and you can generate dynamic reports. This is the information about Einstein Analytics. Next thing is, we will see one more thing called app or application cloud. What exactly is app or application cloud? Organizations are into different domains. Now Salesforce is providing marketing application, sales application, service application. But some organization, they don't want to use the CRM. They don't want to use ready-made application provided by Salesforce. They want to develop their own application. I want to develop my personal website. I want to develop one educational website by my own. It contains all the recording sessions, student information, their payments information, their assignments, everything. I want to do it by myself. I don't want to use any application provided by Salesforce, but I want to use Salesforce services, and I want to develop those applications by using Salesforce technologies. So now what I can do? Salesforce is providing two platforms as part of application cloud. They are providing two platforms. Two platforms as part of application cloud. First thing is force.com. We have already discussed this. Second thing is database.com. This force.com is platform to develop as part of force.com platform. Salesforce is providing two programming languages. Two programming languages. One is Apex programming. Second thing is Visualforce programming. Apex programming is to develop web pages or front-end screens, or we can call them as user interfaces. That is to enter input. Take Naukri.com. This is the front-end screen. This login screen is a front-end screen. This is developed in Visualforce. Now to give this screen, we need to write programming by using Visual Force. Just click on login. This is the login page. This login page is nothing but Visual Force screen. In the Visual Force programming, we can give, by using this, we can design login pages, or we can change password pages. Any front-end page, any web page, you can develop with the Visual Force programming. Apex programming is for business logic. What is business logic? Here, when we enter user ID and password, it is showing invalid details. How it is showing? It is validating my username and password. When we click login button, behind this login button, there is a business logic. From that business logic, what it is showing, when anybody enter here user ID and password, username and password, you go to that database and verify those details. If those details are correct, allow them to log into application. Otherwise, display this message. This is the business logic. Every button control will have business logic. Any click, if you click on something, for that every click, there is a business logic behind it. When we click on something, we will tell application, by using business logic, do this action, perform some action. That actions are written in the business logic. Every button control have business logic. If you write business logic, then only when we click on that button, some action will happen. How the business logic will be? Verify username and password. If both are correct, allow into application. If anything is wrong, display error message. Your user ID and password is incorrect. So we wrote this in text format, but we write this in programmatically. We write this logic. We write everything programmatically, and these results will come. Okay. Any click, for every click, there is a business logic behind it. And business logic get executed. And it gives some results. This is about Force.com platform. What is database.com? Database.com is a Salesforce database. All data, there are two kinds of data. One is application data, that is file storage. Second one is organizations data, that is data storage. That data is stored in database.com. Usually there are Oracle, SQL, MySQL, databases are other databases. Oracle, MySQL, and SQL. These are the popular databases. Salesforce database is database.com. This is Salesforce own database. In the Salesforce database, two kinds of data is stored. One is for file storage, that is application data. Second thing is data storage. that is records. File storage means in the file storage, data is files, application images. Now we have developed this Naukri application. It contains some images. This is the logo, this red bus, register now. All this is the application. This is called file. This is the application file. This data need to be stored, and it contains some documents as well. So for all this is stored in database.com, and data storage is records. That records is when you register in Naukri, your username, password, and you load some resume, or you give some your educational details, your experience details. All those details are stored in the form of records. Those records also stored in database.com. Now my question is, Salesforce is providing this database.com. Whether this database.com is safe and secured. You are not storing your data in your home. You are storing in cloud space, your application data. You have spent a lot of time. You have spent millions of dollars, and you have designed an application, and you have developed an application. That application you are storing in somewhere else. You don't know where that application is storing. And organization, your client might be bank. You have developed one banking application. You have provided that banking application to some ICICI Bank or Axis Bank. Their customer data is stored. All money, all transactions, customer mobile number, email ID, address, everything is stored in some database. That database is available in 3 regions. That your data might be stored in any one of the region based on your country. It might be North America region. If your client is located in North America, then your data is stored in North America region. If your client is in Europe, the data is stored in Europe region. If your client is in India, your data is stored in Asia Pacific region. In these 3 regions, your data is going to be saved. You don't know where these servers are available. My doubt is whether this data is safe or not. Previously, many banking industry applications, they were not using Salesforce because they have doubts about security. Hackers might get attacked. They attack and they can steal your data. So because of that, banks were not using Salesforce. After that, what Salesforce did, they are giving assurance about data security and confidentiality. If we want to deposit our money in a bank, we will see whether this bank will be there or they will go off with money. In the same way, data also needs some security. Then how you can verify database.com is safe or not? Database.com is the data stored in database.com is confidential or not? Data should be very confidential. That organization data, if we save our data somewhere, if we store our jewelry or money in locker, we first decide whether this will be safe or not. Then only we will deposit. In the same way, organizations want to look for data security and confidentiality. For this, Salesforce is maintaining 2 certifications. So like when you pass your BTech, when you apply for job, they will ask you what is your qualification. You will say BTech degree or something. Then they will ask for certifications. Where are your certificates? Like this, in the same way, Salesforce is maintaining two certifications. For you, your JNTU or OU or some other university give those certification. When they will give those certifications, after you finished all the exams, after you clear all the exams, those certifications are available for you. Those can be verifiable. When you join in the organizations, they verify those certificates, whether these are genuine or not. In the same way, Salesforce is maintaining two certifications. One is ISO 27001. Second thing is SAS 70, SAS 70 Compliance 2. These two certificates are maintained by Salesforce. If any organization have these two certifications, that means their information and their data security and confidentiality is there with those organizations. Information stored in the database is safe and secure. It has confidentiality. They are maintaining confidentiality. These organizations, ISO and SAS organizations, after they do a lot of tests, they allocate professional hackers to attack the database servers to get data. They appoint more people to do hacking of this database. And after that, after every test, if the hackers could not hack the database, if they can't steal the database, and anything not missing from the database, even if 10,000 if we deposit, it has to show 10,000. If 10 is missing, it will show 1,000 rupees. They do all these tests. After passing the test, they issue these certificates. Whenever these certifications are available, that means the data is safe and secure. Now, one more thing, your data is safe and secure, but sometimes disasters may happen. What are the disasters? Like cyclones. When cyclones happens, their internet connection may go off. There won't be power. That time client is accessing data. If we don't get data, client's work will get stopped. They can't generate reports. If some hospital is using Salesforce application, every time that application should be running. Patients may come to hospital for registration. Surgery process are going on. That time, data should be available every time. If something is happening in one server, data should be there in other server, and Salesforce application should take data from other server. Here, data recovery service, backup service, data backup and data recovery service should be available. If these are available, one server is down because of cyclone or because of some tsunamis or because of some natural disasters. If something happened to server, data should be backed up. There should be data recovery and disaster recovery management. If complete building get collapsed because of any fire accident or because of something happened due to environment, that time all the data should be recovered. If data is missed, what will happen? If we deposit our money in the bank, if we say Salesforce say we lost data, we don't know how much amount is available for this customer, what will happen? So all these things are provided by database.com. They have two certifications for security and confidentiality. They have disaster recovery management. They have data backup. They have data recovery. All these facilities are available. So Salesforce is offering this kind of excellent features to customer. That's why many organizations are shifting to Salesforce. They are adapting Salesforce. And next thing is data.com. This is the one of the facility provided by Salesforce. What is data.com? Example, now everybody might have heard of PPP model. This is a public private partnership. In PPP model, government asks some private organization to construct highways and one more thing, to construct airports. For this, they call tenders. Many private organizations will participate in these tenders, but from government, what is the benefit? When they go for tenders, they will ask them, in highways, if we see, we pay toll gates, toll fee we pay. In airports, we pay user fee. When there is a toll fee and when there is a user fee, if these two are there, that means that construction is done by public-private partnership. Mostly in our India, L&T Infotech, L&T company will do roads. GMR is constructing airports. So they participate in the tenders. How they participate in the tenders? Before participating in the tenders, they conduct some survey. What survey they conduct? They conduct how many vehicles are passing through this way. Through the route. They calculate per day how many vehicles are passing, per week how many vehicles are passing, per month how many vehicles are passing on average. They do survey for 2-3 months. Then they gather all the data. They will check if we invest for constructing highways, it comes around 4 crores per kilometers. For every 80 kilometers, there will be a toll gate. So now here 80 into 4, 320 crores they are investing. A public company is investing 320 crores for a road, to construct a road. And the government will say for 5 years you can take toll free. After 5 years you should not take. So they will calculate whether they can get 320 crore plus, and they calculate if we invest the 320 crore now, after 5 years, on an average, they should get double amount. 640 crores they have to get. This is the average general calculations by organization. So when they do survey, they get to know in 5 years time, if how many cars are passing in these 5 years, how many lorries are passing through this area, how many small vehicles, large vehicles, heavy vehicles are passing. If they can come to know, okay, we will get this 640 crores rupees in 5 years, if we get these returns, then only they participate in tender. So all this is a survey process. When to do survey, it takes time and they have to invest money as well to do this survey. This is the way of doing surveys. Now, there was an organization called Jigsaw. This is a USA based organization. They used to conduct surveys on different people, organizations, and in different sectors they used to conduct, all sectors they used to conduct surveys. They conduct surveys and collect data. They keep data in different categories. Now, for example, I want to promote Salesforce technology. I want to get leads for Salesforce. I want engineering finished or degree completed students information. I can't go to every college and get data. They might give, they might not give. But there are some organizations, those who have all the engineering and degree students information. I can go to that organization and I can pay some amount to them and I can get that data. I can pass about, we are teaching Salesforce. We prepare you for interview. We have some methodology to teach you properly. We give placement assistance to you. All these things we can say through WhatsApp or SMS, or we call you, or we can promote through some other images or videos we will send to you by taking your mobile numbers. Like Jigsaw has all that kind of information in different categories. What Salesforce did was, Salesforce acquired Jigsaw organization. They acquired Jigsaw organization and they have named it as data.com. In the data.com, they have all the information from different categories. Now, if say now L&T want to get information of in a route, they want to know how many vehicles are passing, whether they can get 640 crores returns by calculating those vehicle details. They will calculate some lorries and buses, cars. The government has decided this much amount has to be collected from cars. You should collect not more than this for lorries. For buses, this much you have to collect it. So they take some 1 lakh vehicles are passing in a week. On average, they calculate into 100 rupees. So this comes some amount. 5 plus 2, 7. 1 crore. 1 crore they are getting in 1 week or something. Like that, they will collect for 5 years how much we get. If they feel they can get 640 plus crores, they will participate in tender. Without conducting surveys, they can directly get data from data.com and they can calculate this. So how they can get this information from data.com? In the offline, we can search for nearest locations of data.com offices. In Hyderabad, Somajiguda, D&B company is available. If you go to that company and ask them, I have this requirement. From this route, I want to know how many vehicles are passing. By seeing that your requirement, they will say this much amount you have to pay, but you have to take license. What are the license? 2 licenses they are giving. If you take offline, or you can take data from online as well. They are providing 2 licenses. If you go offline, you can explain to them and you can take licenses. Even you can do it online as well. One is data.com prospector license. In this license, if you take this license, you will get all leads information. You will get all the vehicles information passed in this for this year. How many vehicles are passed from last 6 months? You will get all leads information. If you want, I want to get engineering colleges engineering college students information of 2021 who has passed. I will get those engineering students, degree students information of 2021. Now, after completing 2021, now I took data in 2022. For next year, 2023, some more engineering students are passing out. The data is stored in data.com. They give one user ID and password. When we take license, they give one user ID and password. When we log into that, we can see all the data. That is our local server. It is like our local server. Now information is in data.com, prospector. Information is in Salesforce, data.com server. Information is stored in data.com. Now, to get the latest information, I need to take one more license. That is to sync data between Salesforce server and our local server. To sync data between Salesforce server and our user ID. Our user ID shows old data. 2021 data. I want to see 2022 data in 2023 January. That time I need one more license, that is called data.com clean license. What it will do is, it will sync latest data between Salesforce server, that is data.com server, and our local server, that is our user ID and password. If you click, if you have this license, you will see latest information always. You will see latest information in your user ID. But this data.com, they have retired. They have retired this database.com on February 2nd, 2021. From that day, this is not available. What they did was, they have created one integration platform. They have made one integration platform. In that integration platform, that is called Lightning Data. They have made this integration platform, and they have made available one application, that is DNB Hoover app. This is an app available in App Exchange. In this, data is available, leads information is available. That is same as this data.com prospector license. This is same as data.com prospector license. There is one more application for clean license, that is DNB Optimizer app. That is available in App Exchange, and that is the replacement for data.com license, clean license. If you have these two licenses, if you have these two applications, here in this Hoover application, there is latest information of leads. In DNB Optimizer, if you have this application, you can see latest information in the Hoover app. This is the two applications available in App Exchange. These two are the replacement for data.com prospector license and data.com clean license. These are the different applications, two applications provided by a Salesforce for getting leads information and for syncing latest leads information. And the last thing is communication tools, that is called collaboration tool. Collaboration or charter tool. For every organization, for internal communication, they use tools. HR team and your project teams, because people works from different locations. To have internal communication, like HR team is there. If you join with any company, if you are working in any company, if you want to discuss with HR team, they have some communication tool. Organizations use some communication tool. And you might need to get some information about finance. Then accounts team has to communicate with employee. And you might get some problem with the laptop. Then that time you need to connect with the network team. And your project, within the project, you might need to communicate with your colleagues in the same project. That time you need some communication tool, internal communication tool. There are few tools available. There are different tools available for internal communication. The first thing is Microsoft Lync. This is a communication tool. It is Skype for business. And second thing is Lotus same time. Lotus same time. This is from IBM. IBM has designed this tool. And there was AIM. This is American Online. This is free tool. No need to pay. These two are paid tools. You can communicate. These tools are used for internal communication. In the internal communication, you can do text conversations. You can do audio conversations. You can make audio calls, like you can make video calls like our Zoom. You can do any kind of conversation. You can share some information. Share information. So AIM is a free tool. Organizations doesn't prefer because there are security issues. Your data should be secure. So the best tools are for communication tools, Microsoft Lync or Lotus same time. In the same way, Salesforce has its own tool. They have their own charter tool. Recently, they took over Slack. It is an internal tool. If your organization is using Salesforce, you will have Slack for internal communication. They will ask in interview which tool is using for internal communication. You can say Slack, by using which you can share text, audio, and you can share any other information within the team, or you can communicate with external teams as well. This is a cloud tool. If you log into Slack from one system, if that system get crashed, if you log into other system with Slack credential, you can see previous conversations. You will have backup of previous conversations because your data is stored in cloud. Conversation history is stored in cloud, not in local system. Here, all conversations are stored in cloud. You don't need to think of if something happened to system, what will happen to our conversation. You can log in with your credentials in other system, all data is available. And it is very less expensive when compared to Lotus Notes or Microsoft Link. It has the similar features like other communication tools, Microsoft Link and Lotus same time. But it is very less cost, less expensive, and conversations are stored in cloud. This is called charter and collaboration tool. So now we have discussed, today we have discussed App Exchange, and we have discussed Einstein Analytics, and next we have discussed what we have discussed next thing, data app and application cloud, app or application cloud, and we have discussed data.com, that is lightning data, latest one. Then we have discussed collaboration or charter tool, that is Slack. These 5 things we have discussed. So now the questions are, what is difference between database.com and data.com? What is lightning data? Whether it is replacement for data.com or what we can do with lightning data. What is Slack? What is the communication tool used, offered by Salesforce? What is user? What are benefits of Slack? It is cloud. Our conversations are saved. We can have the data backup. What is Einstein? Explain Einstein Analytics. Explain App Exchange. These are the questions for today's session. Thank you very much for attending the session. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me.